followed by Iran and then Bangladesh.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Madam Executive Secretary, Excellencies Ministers, distinguished delegates. I congratulate UNESCAP and the fellow member states on the occasion of the 75th anniversary of the establishment of UNESCAP. India has always espoused the principles of multilateralism and has actively supported the establishment of UNESCAP as one of its founding members. India was the first country from South Asia to do so. India takes pride in its journey of 75 years alongside UNESCAP and wishes to reaffirm its commitment to UNESCAP and its role in regional cooperation and sustainable development in the Asia and Pacific. Mr. Chair, as we're all aware, the COVID-19 pandemic has imposed serious challenges before countries in their development journey across the world. I wish to congratulate the countries in the Asia-Pacific region for their remarkable actions against the pandemic. To fight the pandemic, India has launched multifaceted efforts on the domestic as well as global front. We are running a highly successful vaccination drive in the country, which is nearing the 2 billion vaccine doses mark, and guided by the philosophy of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. India has assisted over 150 countries to strengthen their combat against the pandemic. The impact of this pandemic could be long-lasting, influencing all spheres of our life, but we should not let this pandemic affect or reduce the pace of our development activities, including the timely implementation and achievement of the UN Agenda 2030 for Sustainable Development. India also believes that the developed countries have an essential obligation to provide financial assistance to the developing countries so that they can fully achieve the SDGs. There is a need for a united voice so that the developed countries honor their commitment of official development assistance, especially in these unprecedented times. The UNESCAP platform, India believes, should also be utilized for sharing of best practices and developmental experiences in the region. Mr. Chair, in India, our domestic initiatives closely relate to several targets under the SDGs. Through our anti-poverty programs, we have been able to lift 275 million people from multidimensional poverty in the last decades. Furthermore, the Prime Minister's Garib Kalyan Yojana, launched in March 2020, has supported the poor in each and every way during the testing times of COVID pandemic. This package includes insurance cover of $65,000 USD for health workers, subsidized food grains for 800 million people, direct beneficiary transfer for 200 million women, etc. And this underlines the commitments of Indian government for its citizens, more so for the poor and the downtrodden. The COVID-19 pandemic has also taught a lesson to the world that global economy needs greater diversification of the global value chains, building of resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. It is with this objective that India has continued its program of economic reforms and is emerging as one of the fastest growing market economies with an expected GDP growth of 8.3% in 2022-23 and well poised to become a $5 trillion economy by 2025. I'm happy to inform that despite COVID hardships in 2021-22, for the first time, the merchandise exports from India crossed the $400 billion mark. During the same period, India also emerged as the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, with more than 70,000 recognized startups and 100 unicorns valued at $332.7 million, covering all sectors ranging from IT services, healthcare, life sciences, education, and agriculture. India's commitment to become a net zero emission nation by 2070, of building a 50% renewable energy capacity by 2030 with 500 gigawatt, our resolve for a 45% reduction in carbon intensity and a cut down in the carbon emissions process when no one is left behind. I emphasize our collective actions in the next 8 years will decide the future course of our coming generations. Allow me to conclude with a popular shloka from Rigved. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kashit, Dukh Bhag Bhaved, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It means, may all be prosperous and happy. May all be free from illness. May all see what is auspicious and good. May no one suffer in any way. May peace prevail in all realms. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your time and attention. Jai